Okay, now that you're warmed up and ready to go, I have 5 different exercises. One is broken down into 2 parts, so it's a total of 6 movements that we will be doing. We're going to run through 3 and then 3. We're going to do 3 sets of 12 of each one. So just follow along. You can use light dumbbells, or you can use body weight for these as well. So our first one is just a basic squat. So you want your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. You want your toes pointed out slightly. And then if you have dumbbells, you're just going to hold them here at the sides and just squat down. If you're doing body weight, you can have your hands to the side. Some people like to have them here in the middle just for a little more stability. So keep that core engaged. Something that's really important. You don't want to go like this. This is a hip hinge movement, not a squat. You want to make sure that you are sitting back like there's a chair that you're trying to reach back there. If you need a chair, you can use one. It's very helpful for people that are new to squats to have something back there just to give them the feeling of squatting into it. You want your toes up the whole time. And you want to be pressing through your heels and squeeze your glutes to come up. All right, so we have 12 of those. Then we're going to do overhead press. You can do body weight for these, or you can use light dumbbells and overhead press. So you're going to have your feet in a staggered stance for stability. Arms are going to be parallel to each other. Palms are facing each other. Then we're going to rotate up to the top. You can do one arm at a time, but we're going to do them together. So palms facing each other, and then rotate to palms facing forward at the top. So we're going to do 12 of these. Then we're going to do 12 good mornings. So you saw a preview of that in the squat, the hip hinge movement. So a good morning is hip hinge. You want your feet hip width apart. Core tight. You're going to squeeze your glutes. You can have your hands just behind your neck. Don't pull on your neck, just have them there. And then you're going to bend at your hip. Keep your back flat. You might need a small bend in your knee. And then you're just going to squeeze your glutes and come up. You should feel this in your hamstrings. If you're not feeling it in your hamstrings, then you might need to bend your knees a little deeper. You might need to bend a little more forward. Only go as far as you can keep your back flat, and be sure to keep that back flat. So we're going to do 12 of those. Then we're going to do 3-point row. Now you have options for this. You can use an object, a chair, stool, anything, bench if you have it. So you're just going to have one hand on it. You're going to have your feet in a staggered stance. You want to keep your back as flat as possible. You're going to have your dumbbell down here. You're just going to row it up towards your hip. Release all the way down. Don't let your elbow drop. A lot of people will do this mistake. You're disengaging that muscle if you do this. So just lower it down here. And you're going to slowly squeeze it up and down. Again, you don't want to crank through this. You want to get the most out of each movement. So you want to make sure that you're getting that full range of motion. So we're going to do 12 on each side for that. If you don't have a chair or anything, you can also do it just on the floor, on your hands and knees. It's the same thing. Just pull it up towards your hip. And again, you can even do body weight with that too. Still working those muscles. Then our last one is a core work. It's called a penguin. A lot of people laugh at the name of this, but you'll see why it's called a penguin. So you're going to be down on your back, knees bent. You want your heels about 12 inches from your bottom. You're going to lift your neck and chest and shoulders. Don't have your neck clenched. You want to raise them all together off the floor slightly. You're going to extend your hands, and you're just going to reach towards your foot as far as you can. If that's your heel, your ankle, whatever part you can touch, and we're just going to go side to side. So we're doing a total of 24 of these to get 12 on each side. This is working that core and the oblique. Okay, so that's all the exercises that we're going to do. So let's get started and we'll get them done. So again, we're going into just that basic squat. So we're going to do 12 squats. Okay, now into that overhead press. So again, palms facing each other, staggered stance, and then rotate forward. 12 of these. Okay, now we're going to go into that good morning. And again, you can do this with weights. I always suggest starting out without weights though, so you get the feeling of it. If you have dumbbells, you'll just have them here in front of you, and you're just going to slide them down as far as you can go and back up. So we'll do 12. Okay, ready for round 2? We're just going to repeat those same 3, 12 of each. Okay, overhead press again. Okay, now for those good mornings. Okay, last time. Back to those squats. And overhead press. And now for those good mornings. Okay, you are halfway done with your workout now. So now we're going to move into that second section with those rows. Again, chair, floor, whatever object you have that will just stable, you want it to be stable. And you're just going to put a little bit of pressure on this and then through your feet. And we're just going to row up 12 times.
No pad, right? Keep pad there? Sure. Yeah, no, you don't have that pad unless if your house burns down or it catches on fire. Anything you first 10 years.
And we're just going to do the other side.
From the system. So, like the components that have passed through everything and left boards in there, it's just extra cushion for it. Keep it compliant. Yeah, just need your signature there. How are you wanting to do the pay for it?
Okay, and now for those penguins. So down to the floor. So raise those head, neck, and shoulders, and side to side. Okay, and now back to the rows for round 2. If you prefer to stay on the ground and just flip over front to back, that is perfectly fine. The getting up in between each movement does give you a little more cardio work. And for the other side. And there is a modification you can do for the penguins if it's not feasible for you to be on the ground like that. I know some people have back problems, so you can do it standing up as well. You can do it with a dumbbell if you want a little extra. You're just going to reach down side to side. You can do 12 on one side and then switch your dumbbell to the other side and do 12 there. Or again, you can do those penguins on the ground, whichever you prefer. Penguins on the ground will give you a little more core work than this will. This is focused more on the obliques. Okay. Other side.
Germicide when you beat, yes. That also has a whole lot of planners. Electrostatic, it pulls out 97%, 21 microns. Like in your house, a flu shot with the germicide when you beat.
Okay, last round.
Is that something that
And back to those rows. side. And now for those penguins. And I will do those again on the ground so you can see them one more time on the ground. Again, you can do that standing modification if that is your preferred method. Okay. And that concludes